Welcome to the CFL Weekly Pick'em Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. The CFL Weekly Pick'em Show is brought to you by BetNow.eu. Make sure you use the promo code TRUTH100 for your for a cash back bonus on your first deposit. I'm your co-host, Mike Goodpaster, and right now I'd like to welcome, first up, Brian Schmidt. How you doing, Schmitty?
Doing good. It's another Wednesday night of a lot of football.
All right.
You never complain about that.
Well, there's baseball on, too.
Yeah, to that.
Yeah, I know. All right, next up, we have our resident CFL Legend, winner of 4 Grey Cups, Robert Drummond. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing pretty good. I always say my Orange one lost, my Eagles lost, my Argonauts.
Well, the worst part is the Eagles lost to the damn Cowboys.
We don't say that name in this family.
I know, but now they think they've won the Super Bowl again, or that they're going to win the Super Bowl again.
Cowboys fans are the absolute worst. I mean, holy smokes. I mean, I thought Hamilton fans when I was at Argonaut were bad, but they're no comparison to Cowboys fans. Like, they could win one game, and you would think they were world champions. Like, there's no humility in them at all. Unreal.
They're all idiots. All right, so let's start off. Let's talk about the CFL. The Montreal Alouettes scored a pair of fourth-quarter touchdowns and survived a late comeback attempt to claim a 27-24 home win over the Toronto Argonauts on Friday night. The playoff-bound Alouettes recorded their 300th win in franchise history. They are now 9-7 with 2 games remaining. Robert, your Argonauts played well again, though.
You know what? I give him a lot of credit. Bevel Thompson had a very, very good game. He didn't, what I always say for a quarterback, put him in a situation to lose the game. He threw no interceptions. He had 2 touchdowns, close to 400 yards passing. But my problem with the game is that, as I always say, you can control a football game by your ground game. With James Wilder, who was having a good game, only getting 6 carries, it's not enough. But I give Toronto a lot of credit for the simple fact that they fought in there. They put themselves in a position to win the game. Montreal came back and won the game. But you know what? For a team that's out of the playoffs, for nothing to fight for, they fought, and I can respect that. And it bodes well for them going into next year.
Yeah, it bodes well for the Alouettes, Schmitty. Vernon Adams Jr., 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. William Stanback ran the ball 11 times for 49 yards. Jeremiah Johnson, that was a movie in 1973, wasn't it, Schmitty? Ran 9 times for 43 yards. And the Alouettes are going to be a tough out for whoever they play. We've been saying that for a while, but Vernon Adams is getting the job done.
Yeah, Vernon Adams made play after play after play, but that's the whole thing is when he makes plays, he makes everybody else around him better, and they're a good football team. They're not only going to be a tough out, but I would not be surprised if we see them in a Grey Cup. They do enough offensively, do enough defensively, and if Vernon Adams is playing well, they're a hard team to beat.
All right, next up, another hard team to beat. The Saskatchewan Roughriders walked out of BC Place on Friday night with their 11th win of the season, defeating the BC Lions 27-19. The win puts the Riders 11-5 atop the West Division for now, but it looks like it's going to go down to the wire up to week 21. For BC, I mean, they are playing better as of late, Brian. It's just way too late.
Yeah, it's way too late. Certainly they're going to need to evaluate in the off season, really look at bringing in some talent, bring in some things to kind of bring that whole thing together again. They've played well late, but when it doesn't matter, it's really hard to get excited about it. So, guys right now are just playing the job for next year.
All right, guys that aren't playing for next year, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Cody Fajardo, again, 21 for 27, 224 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. William Powell, Robert, 15 carries, 111 yards. And William Powell could be the difference before this is all said and done if he keeps running the ball the way he has been.
As I've said before, and I've said quite a few times, and I don't say it because I'm a former running back also, the ground game controls the tempo, It controls the intensity. It controls the toughness and the attitude of a game, any game that's played. You know, when the guys up front are confident, you know, they're able to move guys around and get a running back yards. It says a whole lot for a football team. You know, so to a team that can run the ball and run it successfully, I don't care how much they pass, I don't care who's their quarterback, they're going to be successful. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be on teams with, you know, with Mike Pringle, we won. You know, with myself in Toronto, we won. With myself and Sean Millington in BC, we won. When a team can run the ball and they can establish an identity, they're very dominant. You know, so Saskatchewan as a team, you know, right now, you know, that can put themselves in position to make a statement. You know, and that says a lot. You know, Cody's a good quarterback. You know, but William Powell, you know, him being able to run the ball like that, you know, sets the identity for the team, and it makes them very, very tough. I would not be surprised at all if they made a great run to the Grey Cup and won it all. It wouldn't shock me at all.
Yeah, and when you talk about running game, Robert, we can't overlook the offensive line, because the offensive line in Saskatchewan's been a lot of the reasons for this success.
You know, a running back is only as good as his offensive line. I've said that since I was in high school. You know, I mean, no disrespect to those guys. You know, and any time I would ever get an award or get something, you know, accomplished as a runner in Toronto or Baltimore or BC, I would always give the linemen credit. You know, and those guys up front, they will make it happen. You know, a championship is won by the guys up front. Put it that way.
Yeah, and we look at the Tigers, Tiger Cats. You know. A man that used to be termed a backup quarterback, but that's been long ago. Dane Evans threw for a career-high 450 yards to help the Ticats to a 33-12 home win over the hapless Ottawa Red Blacks on Saturday. Ottawa's really dropped off since last year. It'll tell you how much the offseason plays into effect of what happens the next year. But Dane Evans, 32 for 41, 452 and a touchdown. Tyrell Sutton running the ball 13 for 85. The Ticats defense was suffocating yet again. And this, to me, is still the most complete team in the CFL. And when Schmidt talks about the Owls possibly winning the Grey Cup and how it wouldn't surprise him, it would almost surprise me right now if anybody other than the Tiger Cats won it, Robert.
They're a special team. I mean, like, we're past the point. We're talking about Dane Evans as a backup quarterback. He's a starter. He's not only a starter in this league. He's a star, you know, in this league. You know, and the Ticats are going to be a tough out for anybody. You know, and as I said before weeks ago, they're my front runner to win the Grey Cup. You know, they're just playing great football on all cylinders right now. You know, good on offense, good on special teams. You know, good on defense. You know, they just have the intangibles, you know, to win it all, and they believe in themselves. That's one thing for someone who's went to 4 Grey Cups in a row that it takes to have a team to be able to do that, and they have it all right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and Brian, when you look at a team that gives up 112 yards passing and 50 yards running, they're pretty good. And in the CFL, no matter who's playing quarterback, to limit a team to 112 yards passing is pretty special.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I've been a big Hamilton fan all year is watching them. I mean, they do it on so many different levels. I mean, you know, they lose their starting quarterback. Dane Evans comes in, and now, I mean, look, guy's a star. He is an absolute star. Hamilton has it going in every conceivable way. And I think that, you know, when we look at the playoffs, I think that's what's going to make the CFL playoffs this year so good is there are a lot of really good teams. There's not that one or two really good teams and everybody else is just kind of there. There's a lot of really good teams, and you've got some potential. You know, Montreal, obviously, you know, they go and if they were to go in and play Hamilton, Montreal could beat Hamilton. You could see that. You know, Hamilton, I think, has the talent to go all the way and win a Grey Cup. But this is going to be a great playoff race.
All right, next up, a 3-touchdown game from Reggie Begelton led the Calgary Stampeders to a 37-33 home win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on Saturday night. The Stamps now are 11-5. I guess they're tied with Saskatchewan. So all you Rough Rider fans that were going to type, I didn't know what I was talking about. I just forgot about your win. This was a great football game, and I think it shows us how good Calgary is. But I think it also shows us that maybe we were writing off the Blue Bombers a little bit early, Brian.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to see how they've turned their season around, because they look like a team that was on the slope going down, and now all of a sudden they seem to have righted the ship. They're playing a lot better. They're getting better play. I mean, obviously, Andrew Harris is a big part of what they do. But again, for me, when I look at this game, Calgary is that team that, still is Calgary. They still can win the big games. Now it's just a matter of
yeah.
Can
and
they
the difference here,
playoffs?
Brian, was Chris Strevler. I mean, he didn't play a bad game, but 2 turnovers. You can't beat Calgary with 2 interceptions.
No, you can't. Any turnover is magnified, but especially against Calgary, they're going to make you pay for those. And that's exactly what they've done for years, and they continue to do it. That's their formula for success.
Yeah, and I think Calgary's formula for success is, of course, Bo Levi-Mitchell, but I think what a lot of people are missing here is it seems like every couple of weeks there's a different running back averaging 4 yards per carry, and I think the success of the Calgary Stampeders, and I know, Robert, we always compare them to the New England Patriots, but I think the key to that success is they always have one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in the CFL, and they have great coaching on the offensive line.
That's it. Calgary's a blueprint, in the outline of how CFL teams, should really conduct and run themselves. I said Bo Levi-Mitchell is going to be Bo Levi-Mitchell, and I said that weeks ago. As long as he's in the playoffs, you have a chance. He's a steady, consistent, smart, talented, quarterback that's going to go out there and give them a chance to win. At home, they're very, very tough to beat. And they've been like that, it's not recently, but for years. But as you said, an offensive line will carry you, to the promised land, which is, the chip, as we call it as players, which is the championship. And as long as you have a solid offensive line on both fronts, offense and defense, getting it done, causing havoc on defense, and giving great pass protection and opening up lanes and runs, you can do things well. And as long as Calgary has that stalwart of being the New England Patriots, of the CFL, they're going to be a tough out.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about this week's games. Calgary and Winnipeg, at Winnipeg. And I think one of the biggest questions heading into the 2019 Grey Cup playoffs is the Winnipeg Blue Bombers quarterback situation. We just talked about it with Chris Strevler, who threw a couple picks in that game. And it's no secret that the Bombers badly miss Matt Nichols. They've won just 3 out of 8 contests with Chris Strevler. Is this the time for Zach Collaros, Brian?
Well, if you're going to do it, this is the time. I think, in my opinion, you brought him in for a reason. And I think that this is the time if you're going to make this move. If you're not going to make this move, why'd you bring him in the first place? So, yeah, I think this is the time. I think it's the time to make the move.
All right, Robert, do you agree or disagree?
I completely agree with this being the time to make the move. It's like, like Brian said, if you're, you go through the whole process of acquiring him, via trade, blah, 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 whatever it may be, and to just sit him, this is the time to make that move if you're going to make any move right now,
All right, so who wins this week, Brian? Calgary or Winnipeg?
Yeah, I'm still going to go with Calgary just like last week. That until Winnipeg shows that consistency, they have played better of late, but Calgary's Calgary, and I think Calgary can win this on the road.
All right, I agree with you. I'm going with Calgary. Robert?
I agree. Brian. Until Stampeders are just tried and tested. Until until Winnipeg can show me that they can get some consistency and just be that upper tier team that does things on an exceptional level to win big games like this. You got to go with the team that's just been there before, been there, done that. And that's Calgary.
Yeah, that's another reason why I would play Zach Collaros right now, because we've seen Zach Collaros do special things in big playoff games, and we've got Chris Streveler who doesn't. I think this is a no-brainer. You got to give it a shot, and you don't want to just all of a sudden throw Collaros in the second half of a playoff game where you're down 20-3 and hoping to catch lightning in a bottle.
Difference is, Mike,
Absolutely.
We're sitting here as announcers, and they have a coaching staff there that if they had their philosophy, they'd have a chance. But right now, they're not. So we'll see.
So what you just said there is we know more than their coaching staff.
Well, I know a lot about football. I've been to actually 4 Grey Cups, so I know enough.
No, I was just gonna agree
Sorry,
with you.
no,
All you had to do is say yes.
Oh. Sorry, I've been to 5 Grey Cups. I lost the first one I went to.
We don't talk about the ones we lose, Robert.
Yeah, it was a late second field goal by Louis Pasaglia, but thankfully I made it up when I went there and won with him. So I don't talk about
them the next year, anyways.
We did.
That's all that matters. All right, next up, Hamilton at Montreal. I'll start this one off. I think Montreal's good. I mean, I'm going to go with Hamilton here, Robert. I just think they're the best team in the CFL. I think this is a special season for them, and I think they're going to end up winning us all at the end.
You know what? Hamilton's a fine-tuned engine right now. They're just running on all cylinders. It's just they have their quote-unquote backup quarterback who's playing exceptional, just out of the world this year. So we can't call him a backup, So it's just they're just playing great football right now, So until Hamilton. The only thing that can beat Hamilton right now, honestly, is Hamilton himself.
Yeah.
So as long as they go out there and keep playing the way they're playing, they'll be fine. As you said, they're going to win the Grey Cup. They're my favorites to win it.
All right, Brian, Hamilton or Montreal?
Yeah, I'm going with Hamilton. But this is one, if you're Montreal, you're circling this one. You really have got to come out and play great in this game. You want to win this game because right now this is your test. I mean, for you to get to the Grey Cup, it's going to go through Hamilton. And, right now Hamilton is just playing so well. I outside of something catastrophic happening, I don't see them winning this game because Hamilton right now, everything they do is just coming up, perfect. So right now I'm going with Hamilton.
All right, next up, the Ottawa Red Blacks against Toronto. I didn't think we'd ever do this quickly, but I'm going Toronto. How about you, Robert?
I'm going Toronto also. So the funny thing about this game is I have friends who are visiting Toronto this weekend, and I told them about going to a game in Toronto. I probably call Pinball or anything, get friends of my tickets and everything. Then I thought about it, and I was like, never mind. It's like neither one of the teams are really teams. They're pretty bad teams. So I mean, I don't mean that in a bad way or anything. Don't get me wrong. I love my old squad and everything, but they're just not playing good football. I mean, I wouldn't send my friends to see someone playing bad football. Why would I?
And sitting amongst this is probably going to be like a junior high or JV football game where just the parents and friends are going to be there anyways. Brian, who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Toronto. Ottawa is easily the worst team in the CFL right now, and Toronto has played well. They haven't won necessarily, but they've played well. So I definitely think they're going to be the better football team.
All right, next up, we close out the week Saturday night with the Saskatchewan Roughriders going to Edmonton to face the Eskimos. Is Trevor Harris back yet? Anybody know? Because they really need Trevor Harris back.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Does it matter in this game?
Trevor Harris makes a difference, but Saskatchewan is just a team right now. I mean, they're a sleeper team. They're a team that people are, they should have a lot more credit than what people are giving them credit for now. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So I think Hamilton is a dominant team. I think Saskatchewan's a team that can sneak in there and win a Grey Cup. Trust me, I've seen it done before. So it wouldn't surprise me at all one bit if the Rough Riders went in there and found a way to get themselves, into the Western Division Championship and onto the Grey Cup and then win it all. So it wouldn't shock me at all.
All right. The way it sounds, they just activated yesterday, I believe, from the 6-week inactive injured list, Trevor Harris. And there is questions about who will start this week. So it could be Trevor Harris. I'm going to go with Saskatchewan, even if it is Trevor Harris, because I figure it's going to take a little while for him to get his legs back. But, Schmitty, the Eskimos are a threat if Trevor Harris is there and healthy when we get to Grey Cup playoff time.
Yeah, they are. And we've seen that in Trevor Harris's time when he was with Ottawa as well. But in this one, I mean, I'm going to take Saskatchewan just because of the unsuredness of if Trevor Harris is going to be back. And plus, Saskatchewan's a really good football team.
Yeah, they are.
And it's going to take Trevor Harris. It's going to take Trevor Harris a little bit of time to get his feet back into it and everything like that. So this one here, I think, is an easy pick to take Saskatchewan.
All right. Did we get your pick on this one, Robert?
Oh, yes, that's Wisconsin.
Yeah, I get confused sometimes. It's cloudy in my head sometimes. Schmitty will tell you that. Any final parting words of wisdom, Brian?
Oh, I have no words of wisdom tonight. I'm just happy to be here talking football.
All right, so say like every other night. Robert, how about you?
Just safe and happy, gameplay from the players. As a former player, you always just hope the guys just go out there and play their best, and just like have no injuries or anything happen, But this is the most fun, that teams are in the playoff, that it is in football going into the year. You're establishing yourself. Who's dominant, who's not dominant, and who can possibly win the Grey Cup. That from the beginning when training camp started, it all accumulates, to this point, to where the best team flexes its muscles, goes out there and proves that they are the champion. They get a chance to walk around with that Grey Cup trophy in that ring, But it all comes down to this point right now. You've worked yourself up for the last 16, 17, 18, 19 weeks to get to this point, So this is where the fun begins.
All right.
Now it's football.
I'm just looking forward to Calgary-Winnipeg because that game will help decide the West. I think if Calgary wins that game, they'll probably end up winning it. If they lose it, I think the Riders will take that division, so that's going to be interesting. And I was looking forward to the playoffs because especially if Trevor Harris is healthy and maybe Zach Collaros pops up in Winnipeg, even though I think Hamilton has to be the odds-on easy favorites to win this.
It's Hamilton's Grey Cup to lose.
Yeah. The last few years, though, it's been Calgary's to lose, and last year they won it. But a couple years before that, we had teams that went into this 500 or below 500 and ended up winning it all. And, Robert, you know what kind of things can happen like that. I think you were on the first team to be below 500 and win I almost said the Stanley Cup, the Grey Cup.
Yeah, I was on the BC team. It was pretty much we were 8-8. Went to the Grey Cup and won it. It's about getting hot at the right time. And Hamilton's been hot the entire year, and you rarely see that. It's like an ebb and flow. You'll be good, you'll be bad for a couple of weeks, you'll be good again. But Hamilton's been solid, the entire year. So that's a team that usually goes out and wins the championship because they're a dominant team. So as I said right now, it's their Grey Cup to lose. So it's all on them. But there's a lot of pressure with playing in the Grey Cup. Oh my goodness, you have no. I played in 5 of them, and it's just, man, you want to go out there and have fun, but everybody's gunning for you when you're the top dog, So they're going to get the best game they possibly can get from every single team they play from here on out. So we'll find out if they're ready for it or not. If they're not, they're going to falter. If they are, they're going to do what I've done to win 4 Grey Cup championships, and just overcome. So it'll be interesting to see.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back next Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Make sure you check out betnow.eu. Use the promo code TRUTH100 for a cashback bonus on your first deposit. So we're going to wrap it up. I want to remind you can follow The Grueling Truth at Grueling Truth. Also, tonight in a half hour, you'll get the NFL Weekly Pick'em Show with me, Brian, Matt, Scott. It should always be fun because it usually is because Scott's a dipshit. We need to get Scott on the CFL show. What do you think, Brian?
No, we really don't. Okay. No, we really don't. I think me and Robert.
I was being facetious.
I think me and Robert. Yeah, I know. I think me and Robert can agree that we like a 20, 25-minute show, and if we bring Scott on here, we're going to be here 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I know. It'll be 3.5 hours of stupidity. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Remember, you can hear all of our shows on iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher. Podcast Addict added us today. I don't know what the hell it is, but you go in and Google The Grueling Truth. You'll find us. So for Brian Schmidt, Robert Drummond, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.